You have stayed true to our cause, Inquisitor, when so many others have not. For every heretic we confess, for every betrayer that burns on our pyres, new sheep continue to flock to Iavara Extensios. But not you. I underestimated you in the beginning, but no longer. It is not for honor that I summoned you today, but for duty. Too many of our own have confessed upon the wheel and the rack and the flame. Too many of our faithful have had their minds poisoned by the Kratom witch. The tide is against us now. We have but one option. Iavara's following must see her exposed for what she is. She must confess her heresy. Not in Kratom, surely. Their lord has embraced her heathen faith and protects her with his army. But in Oceanus, things would be different. The king of Oceanus is a sinful man. You have already done much for the Inquisition. I wouldn't ask this were there any other choice.
Turn around, flesh creature. Outsiders are not permitted to approach the elms.
Do you not feel it, sister? Something familiar. An ancient soul, like the other one. Another defiler, no doubt. Let us fell him and be troubled no more. He would pay the debt of his predecessor.
So it would seem, Rhiannon. But we must not hasten to judgment.
What of it, young trespasser? Is it as my sister says? Or are you here to stain this place with foul deeds? There, by his own admission, Sheetha.
Really, sister? And you wonder why your leaves begin to fall out before midsummer? Clearly that man did not want to be followed. Whatever the relationship here, I suspect it is anything but cordial. The answer is yes, old one. We crossed paths with Theos not long ago, and we can tell you where he went. But I find it curious that anyone would seek him out. Suspicious, even. If we are to help you, so that is the reason he passed this way. This is low, even for the Leaden Key.
I told you we should have confronted him, Sheila.
It would have been the last thing we ever did, sister. Who can be said to have ever gotten the better of Theos?
Yes, but imagine how much fun it would have been. Can't you just picture him all strung up?
But that's not what this is really about, is it? You are bound to that, I see it now. You are awakened. Your soul is awake and something once buried deep now wells to the surface. I am sorry to tell you this, but Theos cannot give you what you seek, nor can...
The soul is formless without a past to shape it. Did you truly expect to be able to wipe it away? That is the penance we all pay. But penance cannot be paid for a past only known in... However, as much as my sister speaks truly that there is no way back from an awakening, there may yet be a way forward.
I would. Were the way not so likely to end it. The man Theos you must already know by now. You are linked by a common past. Something about it lingers within you, festering, unresolved. What it is I cannot see, but were you to learn the source of this discord, perhaps it could be put to rest. Though it is equally possible it will trouble you as much now as it did then. And merely you might wait for it to come on its own, of course. But when it comes, It will replace your...
Or you could learn it from someone who already knows.
It is said the gods made his memory perfect, that he may never forget his charge.
Now there's a rough punishment.
Not that he would tell you, of course.
You have followed the right person for the wrong reason, it seems. We see it often beneath the elms. The soul dragging mind and body to unknown places for unfathomable reasons.
The only thing that's certain is you did not find what you sought.
He has gone down beneath the tower to a place older than we, where the people of Engwith once walked. He makes his way to the buried city.
May he stay down there and rot with...
He may yet. He won't be returning the way he came, that much is certain. He opened a secret path in the tower's base, and...
We know of one. On the burial isle, through the court of the penitents, Braeth Yaman.
Don't be cruel, sister. The way my sister speaks of is not for the faint of heart. A great pit at the center of a forgotten court, where faiths were judged in place of crimes. To most, it is simply a gateway to death. With the help of the god...
Oh, sister, if only we'd thought to trick Theos.
No trick, I'm afraid. Though without the proper preparations, the fall will certainly... The pit is said to have been a means of judgment by the gods. Those cast into it are meant to die. The court is old. We do not know much for certain, but it would seem only the gods themselves can grant passage. No more than a ruin now. It is older than we, a place for the trial of heretics. We were not here to witness it, but at one time there was a group that refused to acknowledge the god. The fall killed them, of course. The prison was not for people, but for their souls, and their sentences were eternal. It is said that many of the condemned repented and were... Behind us is Ter Evron, said to pierce the shroud itself and a place of communion with all gods. If ever there was a time for prayer, you have found it. I would pray first to those gods you like best. I hope for your sake the feeling is shared.
None.
Ter Evron is also called the Hall of Stars, and the stars show us the allegiances of the gods. You should choose a place to pray where you'll be closest to those you want to hear you. If a god stands alone, you should pray to that god. If they band together, you should address them all. Choose your words wisely, for all gods...
Not the only way. Just the only one that doesn't end with your body impaled.
What do you wish to know?
The same way that you are no doubt able to peer into the ether and experience the souls of others. It is something we are born with, some more. You share certain similarities with the man you pursue. For your sake.
There is something about this place that reaches beyond our understanding, something like a beacon. The elms have a way of uniting souls that have... Sometimes it is for love, sometimes for vengeance, sometimes for peace. Often it is for no reason we will ever know.
Or vengeance.
There is little to be said about us, for we are bound here, caretakers and defenders of this place. We have seen the elms grow tall. We have seen cities built, burned, and built again. The only constant has been the tower, a silent companion through the ages. You can imagine why this recent destruction...
If you do nothing else, make that man pay for what he did here.
We will tell you what we can. Before you go, tell me this, old one. I'm curious. If you were to subdue your enemy, what would you do? A great many questions still. All the same, think on this matter. Be assured and be warned. Some questions have answers that can... May you find an answer to yours. What do you wish to know? Until we...
Almost beats the Southern Lights.
Estremor?
How do you do? Greetings.